All right, so it's rigging day here for me. I'm going to show you what I got. First off, just like any other good day starting out, come out here to start the four-wheeler up, and no go. A couple things happened. Tried to clean the carburetor, still no deal. Backfiring like crazy. I had to rebuild this thing not too long ago, so I'm thinking it's about time to rebuild it again. However, we're not going to let that stop our day because pushed it out of the way. Got the truck that's extremely dirty here, ready to pull the boat out. It's a super nice day here in Ohio for January. Wind's blowing a little bit. It's supposed to be 50 degrees, 50-ish degrees tomorrow. I might go over to Grayson and try to catch a fish. But I'm going to show you what's new to the old battle rig here, the old Stratus. It's coming right along, so let's take a look at it. All right, so heading in here. I'm sure you guys can tell. First off, my boat's a wreck. I mean, it is absolutely destroyed. Got the ring light there, got everything out here. So let's talk about some things that's going to go on here. Garmin, Ultra 126 SV, and an LSV34 Livescope system, Panoptix. On top of the 15-inch Solix, brand new for the old battle rig here. The Ultrex Quest, baby. And again, this place, my boat is destroyed. I got to get all this stuff out of here. Shout out to the Better Boat, hooking me up with some stuff to keep my stuff clean this year. Got a new product right here. I'm going to show you guys that in another video. But here's another addition that we're going to be putting on the boat, hopefully today. Got some new safety chains there, safety cables. Mine are extremely rusted, and it's causing some really bad issues with my grounding for my boat, my trailer lights and stuff. You can see this thing's filthy, but not getting a good ground because it all grounds right here, and this white wire comes out of here and grounds to that surface. So I'm going to replace those, but we got to try to figure out a way that we can put this thing up here. Do have a few things coming in the mail today. My goal is to take all this stuff out of here. Obviously it needs to move. But back here in the very back of this thing, there's a wall there, obviously. So I'm going to put, first off, a new distribution block for power there. I'm also put this transducer or the sonar system for the Livescope. And then after that, in another video, I think I'm going to take this off for right now, put the 12 Garmin up here because I'm going to have to come up with some kind of mount that mounts both of these. I want to use this same mount right here instead of 22-degree angle, so it's going to take some finagling. Because if you look, there's not a ton of room between here and my trolling motor. A 12 might fit there, we'll just have to see. But I don't want to drill any more holes in my deck for this Panther mount or to put a new one in there. So we're going to be running some wires, show you guys the process today of this, and it's going to be, hopefully, ready to rock and roll here very soon. All right, first things first, we have to get all of my rods out of there, which is going to be quite the problem, I would say. I'm gonna put all my stuff back up here. I was up here shooting some videos the other day. Put all this stuff back in here for the time being. This video may not get done today, by the way. A lot of stuff that needs to get done. Still waiting on some stuff from Amazon today. You know, I got a distribution block, and again, I'll show you guys all this as I work through the video. This boat is a 2006, and it doesn't have the best power management system in it. There's no distribution block other than down here. There's a fuse panel, but I'm actually going to run a new wire, 0-gauge wire, positive and negative from my starting battery up here, put a distribution panel within here. That way I can actually get power from here. Right now my graphs, my 15-inch Solix here runs straight to the battery. I don't like that. There's no power, main power switch to it. So I'm gonna be running that main power switch in here. So I run I run covers on all my graphs, so there is a chance that you can turn one of these things on. It could be on for weeks without you knowing it. So, which is no bueno. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna take all this stuff out of here. Not gonna bore you to death with that. But once I get everything out of here, I'll show you what I plan to do. We're gonna dig out this Garmin, see if it's even gonna fit on the front of this boat. That's you know, I think I'm all about the newest and greatest technology when it comes to buying stuff, but I never do really think about if it's going to fit or not. So again, I'm not going to bore you to death with this. I'm going to get all my rods out of here, put them in my garage, show you what I got to work with, and then see how we're going to rig this thing. Again, we're going to run some new power, a new dedicated power switch that will run all my graphs, the Garmin, the 2 Humminbirds. That way I can just shut that off and make sure there's no power to those things. Let's give you guys a little update of what it looks like right now. You can see I got 3 Odyssey batteries and a cheaper battery there, which I'll be replacing soon. But that cheaper battery is my starting battery. And you can see that that thing is absolutely just chock full. Let me go over here so I'm not ruining the light for the viewers at home. But you can see that it's nasty looking. That is the most amateur rig job I've ever done in my life. All that stuff there was me. So my goal is to run a 0 gauge wire from here all the way under the boat, or through the boat, through the hole, all the way up to here, and then it's going to terminate right here. So I'm going to have a positive and a negative inside this on that wall. Also, this sonar unit will be on that wall as well. So I will then rewire this graph to go to that distribution panel, which will be fused. This 12-inch Garmin, wherever it finds its home up here, will be ran to there. That will be fused. And then I will rerun the wires from this Solix 15 back into here also. That way everything is in one spot. It's all equally, or it's all centrally located. If I need to fix it, I can get to there. I can see fuses and stuff, and I can also open this rod locker, shut all the power off to the not only the sonar unit, but the 3 graphs. So that's my goal for this video, and it may actually be multiple videos because I'd say this is going to be a lot to do. I got this is a Garmin Echo Map 126 SV Ultra. This is not the Ultra 2, but this thing is going to go up here, and it looks like if I can make a mount to where that'll fit there, I think we'll be golden. But I don't know how that's going to be done. That's going to be pretty tricky. That's my goal, is to have this thing. I mean, I guess I could have it offset a little bit maybe, but I want it to be heads up just like this. The problem is, again, this mount is at a 22.5 degree angle. That's, you know, I could get a flat one, but again, I don't want to put more holes in my deck. But that's my goal right there. It looks like there's enough room for the trolling motor to swing in there, which is great. That's amazing. I didn't think it was going to fit, to be honest with you, but Garmin 12, we're going to run some power up to this thing, power wire here. We're going to run it through the hole again, up to that spot. All my connections are going to be soldered. I'm just kind of a stickler with that. I want to make sure all my stuff is really good and secure. Obviously, I have the mount here that needs to go up here. And this also may throw a wrench in things because this mount's a little bigger than just the graph. So what I'm going to have to do is put this thing together and then hold it up there and see if I can get it to work. But again, this is, you guys know as well as I do, if you're not running Livescope or some kind of forward-facing sonar, and I think that Garmin has the you know, it wrapped up as far as the best in the market, you're just kind of fishing for second or third place, because if you're not learning how to use this stuff, and you know, it's just a game changer. And again, I hate using the word game changer, but this is a true definition of a game changer in the fishing world. So I'm gonna hold this up here. Again, I'm not gonna bore you guys to death. I'm gonna run some wires. I'm gonna show you guys how everything is set up when I get, and show you some of the process as we go through this. Installed the transducer here on the trolling motor shaft, and I ran into my first snafu running some cables here. And again, so how this works is you have the sonar unit, which is, if I get my camera to stop being crazy, have a sonar unit here which gets power. Again, I already told you guys how I'm going to do that. Obviously the transducer that I've ran to the for the Livescope right there on the trolling motor shaft comes out here. That's going to get ran through the hole and get plugged into right here. Now, this is where the snafu happens. So in order to connect the graph to the sonar unit, you use this provided network cable. Well, even with the connection that goes from the Ethernet of the Ultra to that cable, it is not going to be long enough to reach my spot that I wanted to put all that stuff. So I'm probably going to have to punt on that and put that against this wall on my in the same locker. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, but that's just the kind of stuff you gotta adapt and overcome. Don't mind the fish tape down there, but again, down there on that thing right there is where I wanted to put everything, the distribution block. And what I mean by the distribution block is, you'll see in the next video, I'm gonna run, as I mentioned earlier, 0 gauge wire to a power distribution block that's fused. Right now I have all my graphs running straight to the battery and it looks like crap. So 0 gauge wire to this power distribution block here, and then all the power wires will be going there. Matter of fact, you can see that little red and white wire there. That goes to a wire that's, it's actually an old set of strip lights that I have in there that I need to fix. I need to put more lights in there and change that. But again, you can see I've ran the wires along here, and then that black wire dropping there is for the GLS 10, which I have opted to install right here. So I have all this stuff here ran up to the bow of the boat. So right now, the transducer, and I chose to use black electrical tape. People say that seems to be a little bit better than zip ties. It doesn't cut into the wires bad. I really like the little spot there that the trolling motor has. I left a big loop of wire here because I don't know how much I'm going to need, because obviously the head turns, or this whole trolling motor shaft turns, so there's going to have to be a little bit of play there so I can make sure that it doesn't bust. Ask me how I know. It wasn't me, but actually, if you guys saw the video of me soldering one together, that's the deal. But I left some wire there, ran it down through the TH Marine troll tamer there, and in here I got this little 3D printed cover that I made that fits over that stuff. Giant mess at this point. Garmin's going to go here where this mounts at right now, and then the power cable for the Garmin head unit is not long enough to go there, so I have some 12 gauge wire, which is bigger than this. This is probably only, I don't know, probably 20 gauge maybe, I don't know, but I'm gonna solder these together right here, and then I'm gonna run this through, and this is going to run right along where the other ones are at, underneath this little lip right here. This lip right here, it's tucked up underneath there, and then it'll drop down and get it'll get soldered onto some ring connectors and then put on that distribution block. So there'll be a main cutoff switch, distribution block, all the power going to my graphs there, so I can turn one switch and get it turned off. Garmin 12 Ultra with the Livescope Plus, or the LSV34 as I like to call it, and a 15-inch Humminbird Solix on the front, 15-inch Humminbird Solix on the back. Something tells me I'm gonna need some more batteries. So guys, there you have it. Video 1 of installation of the new Garmin Livescope. I'm about probably 50% done at this point. I got to figure out that mount situation. I'm either going to have to drill more holes in the deck of my boat, which I don't want to do, or I'm going to have to make a custom plate that allows me to hold that both of those big graphs up there. It's going to have to be really rigid. Both of these graphs are not light, so I mean, you're probably looking at 30 plus pounds here on this thing, I would say. But I'm super pumped to get Livescope finally on the old battle rig here. The 2006 Stratus 201 Pro XL is shaping up. Till next time, guys. If you guys can, get out there and lean on them. We'll see you next time on another line.